Think buttons are cool? Try strapping a bow to a block and making it fire on command. Welcome to the power of the Dispenser. I'm APKAFE, and today I'll show you how to master this game-changing block. From crafting basics to redstone tricks, auto farms, turret traps, and even a snowball machine gun. Tween schematics and data packs are linked below. Grab some cobble, a bow, and let's get things firing.
There's a reason new players mix this block up with a dropper, and it starts at the crafting table. Both recipes swallow 7 cobblestone and a redstone dust, but the dispenser demands a bow right in the center. That bow does not lose durability when you craft, but it must be fully repaired. So here's the quick solution. Merge 2 skeleton loot bows in your crafting grid. Bingo, full durability. Slide that bow into the grid, ring it with cobblestone in a U shape, redstone dust at the bottom center, and your first dispenser pops out. Now a dropper looks identical except the central bow slot is empty. That single missing bow completely changes behavior. A dropper throws items as plain entities, while a dispenser tries to activate the thing it holds. Arrows turn into projectiles, splash potions shatter on impact, water buckets pour water source blocks, shears snip sheep, flint and steel ignites portals, even spawn eggs summon mobs instantly. Internally, a dispenser also checks whether the slot it faces is air, fluid, or block, making its logic marginally slower. Keep that distinction in mind because the dropper elevator you build for your mob farm stops dead if you swap in dispensers by mistake.
You've built that first dispenser and your brain immediately leaps to arrows. Let's lean in. Imagine you have a skeleton spawner that's chucking bones and bows into a chest beneath your mob grinder. Funnel those bones into a crafting grid with sticks for fresh arrows, toss the arrows into a hopper chain, and feed them straight into your dispenser. Mount the dispenser on a pillar 5 blocks off the ground. Face it toward the spawner's kill chamber and hook the whole setup to an observer clock, clicking every 10 game ticks. Now, while skeletons fall and drop arrows, the turret sprays new skeletons with their own ammunition. It's recycling in its cheekiest form. You might worry about lag from hundreds of arrow entities, but there's a simple fix. Aim the dispenser at an endless water stream. Every arrow that lands inside will soon despawn, as the water current drags it into a cactus or lava trash chute, so the entity count never balloons. If you want to turn the turret on and off, add a daylight sensor that powers the clock only at night. Or, even better, a skulk sensor so any mob vibration spikes the turret awake. Suddenly, that dark spawner room becomes a zero-danger, full XP fountain where skeletons take hits from their own quiver.
So arrows are fun, but the real money lies in crops. Picture a tiny 9x9 wheat farm. You stick a dispenser facing downward directly above the central farmland block that normally holds your water source. You fill the dispenser with bone meal from your same skeleton grinder, then you bury an observer so its smiley face peers at that wheat. Wheat changes block state when it grows. Observer detects the change, sends a signal up through solid blocks, triggers the dispenser, which dumps bone meal on the wheat, forcing another growth stage. The cycle repeats until wheat tops out, at which point the next observer sees the fully mature state, pushes a piston that uproots the crop, water stream drags items into a hopper, seeds auto-replant with a second dispenser, and 30 seconds later, another loaf of bread slides into storage. The beauty of this loop is that the dispenser never wastes bone meal, because the observer only pulses when the plant changes. If you build 5 of these modules in a row, you produce food faster than a single player can eat. And because bone meal is infinite thanks to skeleton drops, the farm has no consumable cost outside of redstone dust. Pure survival gold.
When you swap arrows and bone meal for buckets, the dispenser graduates from helpful to heroic. The game treats a water bucket in a dispenser the same way a player right-clicking would. That means if the block in front is air, water pours out. If the block already holds that source water, a second pulse collects it again. With that in mind, here's the simplest automatic sugarcane clock. Line a riverbank with sugarcane, place a dispenser facing the cane, load it with a single water bucket,
Then set up a hopper clock that pulses every 30 seconds. The first pulse pours water, breaking any grown cane above the first block. An adjacent hopper minecart collects drops. The second pulse gulps the water back up so new cane can grow without waterlogging the farmland. You can extend the same trick to flood trap hallways. Put tripwire hooks 2 blocks in, connect them to a dispenser row in the ceiling, fill those with llama buckets instead, add a quick redstone inverter so lava bucket fire only after the player moves deeper, and now your treasure vault gains a self-resetting Indiana Jones lava trap. Because dispensers can hold 9 buckets, you have 9 lava dumps before you must reload, though in practice, a hopper line with additional buckets means the mechanism never dries up.
Over in the realm of Bedrock, players rely on so-called Trident-Killers because sweeping edge swords don't exist. The dispenser is the engine of that machine. In a Guardian farm, imagine 4 dispensers arranged in a plus shape, each one holding a water bucket. Guardians swim into the kill chamber, an observer detects them, dispensers yank the water away so Guardians drop, and a trident thrown earlier whirls around on a piston extender, shredding them for experience. But timing is delicate. Bedrock dispensers have a 2-game tick internal delay, which is 40 milliseconds longer than Java's. And if your observer fires too quickly, the dispensers can't switch state before the next pulse. The fix is a 4-tick repeater buffer. Place it between observer and dispenser, and the machine never desynchronizes. While Guardians drop prismarine shards, the same system works for drowned copper farms, and even for Hogland barbecue machines in the Nether if you swap water for lava. The dispenser forms the backbone because it can manipulate fluids without a player present, obey redstone rules, and accept power from every side, which makes compact, tileable designs possible.
I promised a vending machine, so let's build one you'd be proud to drop into a multiplayer spawn. Think sideways. Dispenser equals output chute. Hopper equals payment inbox. Comparator equals fraud detector. Tuck a locked hopper behind the payment chest so items only flow when redstone unlocks it. Set the comparator to detect exactly 1 diamond entering the hopper. That output powers an RS NOR latch that unlocks the dispenser precisely once. The dispenser fires the chosen item, maybe a shulker box full of fireworks, through a honeyline chute that lands at the buyer's feet. Now you need a reset so the system waits for the next diamond. Chain a 2-tick repeater line back into the RS NOR latch that relocks the hopper after dispenser pulse ends. If a would-be cheater tosses dirt instead of diamonds, comparator reads insufficient signal, latch never flips, hopper keeps item, dispenser stays silent. The thief walks away empty-handed, and the machine politely stores junk for later disposal. Dress it up with quartz stairs, glass front, and a glow sign that says, 1 diamond, stack of rockets. Multiplayer spawn economies are born exactly like this. The dispenser lifts a simple paywall and ensures 1 item per coin ever leaves the box.
Sometimes you just want to cause chaos. Load a dispenser with 16 snow golem heads. Actually, that won't work, but you can load it with stacks of snowballs scooped up from your mountain base. Next, craft a rapid-fire clock. Classic design uses an observer looking at a block that itself is powered by the observer, creating a self-feeding loop that clicks at 4 game ticks, the absolute redstone repeat speed. Attach that to the dispenser, stand behind an obsidian wall, point the business end toward phantoms swarming your skybase, and flick the lever. The snowball stream looks like a Star Wars blaster volley, shredding phantom pathfinding so they peel away while you sleep. Swap snowballs for arrows, and suddenly you have a mob grinder remote gun. If you insert fireworks, each pulse launches a rocket. Combine 3 colored fireworks star recipes, load the dispenser, and schedule the clock with a daylight sensor set to midnight for an automated holiday show that explodes synchronized above your town square. Mojang capped firework entity count to control lag, so the machine self-throttles. And because dispensers don't use durability, the gun never breaks. Once again, the humble dispenser proves why it sits near the top of the redstone food chain.
We started with a single bow and 8 cobblestone, and by the end, we've whipped up arrow turrets, bone meal grop boosters, water bucket motorized farms, bedrock Trident-Killers, diamond secure vending machines, and even a snowball minigun worthy of a sci-fi cannon. All powered by the same 9-slot stone box dispenser that most players craft once for a prank and forget forever. I hope the next time you glance at your redstone chest, you see potential instead of clutter. Every contraption I walk through, Observer bone meal loop, sugarcane 2-pulse clock, bedrock guardian killer, vending machine latch, and snowball blaster, lives down in the description, fully schematized with clear block counts and a quick start data pack for easy world paste. Download whatever sparks your creativity and tweak away. Now, here's my challenge. Build a dispenser-powered mechanism I haven't shown, whether it's a wearable armor equipping station or a honey bottle medical kiosk that fires slow fall arrows when you press a button. Record a 30-second clip or snap 3 screenshots, post them on Twitter with the hashtag #DispenserInventor, and tag our APKAFE channel. The most mind-blowing or hilarious entry earns a permanent pin in next week's video description and a shout-out. If today's guide upgraded your redstone game, hit like so the algorithm knows. For a weekly refill of tech lattes, tap subscribe and flick that bell icon so YouTube actually tells you when the next block-by-block blueprint drops. Comments are wide open for troubleshooting. If your dispenser keeps popping empty buckets instead of water, paste your wiring. I'll help debug. I'm APKA, ready to brew another coffee and refine my TNT cannon range. Until next time, better every tap.